Well, this whole thing is just getting very awkward now. But here's why I brought up Odette's um, genetic background. Because it seemed to me like she was playing into something. I'm not saying that, there weren't parts of her that represented the African percentage that she has before. It's just that it seemed to be way more played up now, and I just noticed changes in the way that she was talking. She had a fake name on POTUS, Vernice. That's like, really? Um, and, she changed her hair color to be, it's gonna sound funny because it's blonde, but a lot more of a black style, African American kind of culture style than I had expected. It actually turned out pretty nicely. But so what it seems to me in looking at this is that she's playing into something politically. I just noticed her vernacular was different, and there just seemed to be, it was getting played up a lot more. So let's just do the math on this. I mean, I don't know what she said, if she's just denying outright that she's Belizean. I'm not sure what she said, but from what she had told me the entire time that I knew her, she was at least a couple generations deep of having family in Belize. And so if that's true, then it's more than likely that her father had at least one parent that was Belizean. Okay, so if that's true, then because his skin tone was very dark, but he had a Caribbean accent, and their family is in Belize. So, if that's true, if he did have, say, one parent that was Belizean, let's say even 50% Belizean, then that would make him, let's say, at the very least, 25% Belizean and 75% African, which I don't think is realistic because of his accent would imply that he's been not in Africa for a long time, that there's a generation at least removed. But let's just say, in this unlikely event, that he's only 25% Belizean. Well, that still puts Odette only at 35% African. Now, this is just getting ridiculous. How black are you quantifying shit? But let's just do the math. And more realistically, just looking, if your family is generations deep in Belize, then more realistically he's probably at least 50% Belizean, which puts her, or more, I don't know, but which puts her at 25% or less. Okay, so I'm just, and then on her mom's side, I know they're Hungarian. I think they're Austrian too. I know they're Hungarian. So, it's like four things. It's like, that would then be Belizean, African, Hungarian, and Austrian. So here's some kids coming. That's a lady. Girl. So anyway. So just doing the math on this, I'm just showing you. And then, the reason that I brought up Napa, the mean streets of Napa, is because she's not culturally black. Like, you're trying to, I know what you're doing. You're trying to turn this into a black and fetishism thing or something. I'm like, but that's not the case. She was a really close friend, so, but that's just not the case. She wasn't culturally black, and, genetically, she's, only, whatever, 12 to 35%. I'm just saying, can we just be a little real about this? That wasn't a huge part of things. just doing the math here. So, I understand her father had a dark skin tone, but you guys, my grandma was brown. But that doesn't make her African. There's just, skin tone is skin tone, you guys. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're from Africa. My grandma was not from Africa, it's just her skin tone as a German. That, you know, it it doesn't mean anything on terms of that this means necessarily this region. So we'll go over more traits because I listed them, but I can show you why. Looking at her, I can tell she's, of her darker side, she's predominantly Belizean, and I can show you why I believe this. And it has to do with facial structure, it has to do with her skin pigment, and it also has to do with her hair. The hair is sort of the most important part, which is, I wondered if not possibly why she didn't change it during this.